It's finally happening, guys.
Can't believe it.
After all this time, we're doing Alien 3.
Yes.
Oh, you even got all dressed up for
I
it.
did.
It was
so
a special
excited.
occasion.
It was. I was like, let me do a black tie kind of thing.
Obviously.
So excited.
I'm so excited.
I thought we were doing Magic Mike for a minute.
The fans have been really, really wanting it.
Yeah.
And they really, really push for it. And I think we don't want to let the fans down. Let's give them Alien 3.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But before we start, I found this weird pen in the prop closet. Have you guys seen this before?
No.
No.
What are we doing?
I don't know. We were going to review a movie, I think.
Yeah.
It was a 90s alien movie.
An alien movie from
Alien
the
90s.
She's got a black suit. Guys,
Oh.
I think it's Men in Black.
Oh, yeah, there's just a conveniently
we'll do
placed
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Men in Black.
Men in
Yeah, it
Black.
has to be Men in Black.
Yeah, okay. Because clearly,
Yeah,
alien
it's-
movie from the 90s.
Men in Black. What else would it be?
You think Men in Black, obviously. So yes, let's talk about Men in Black. Online shopping getting you stressed, Newt?
I know I can find better deals on all this stuff, but constantly searching for discounts is taking forever.
Honey.
Yes, darling.
No, Honey. It's the #1 shopping tool in America. You like saving money, don't you?
Who doesn't?
Honey finds and applies coupon codes on all your favorite websites when you shop online.
Wow, one click and Honey tests different codes and applies the best ones to your cart. Now I can quickly shop and save on all my favorite things, like video games. And pizza! This is a lot of fun. It's like having my own online shopping sidekick.
And it's so easy to sign up today and start saving with Honey.
Can I get some of that pizza? Honey!
Get Honey for free by going to joinhoney.com/hackthemovies. Again, that's joinhoney.com/hackthemovies so they know we sent you.
It's time to hack the movies. Today, we're talking about tapes with Tony and Newt and Crystal.
Talking about tapes.
Oh, by the way, guys, you know what the difference between me and you two are? How do you say that? Guys, do you know what the difference between me and you is? I make this look good.
Even on the second take, he couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, can't pull it off, but baby, way
We
better.
wear our sunglasses at night. Yeah,
We
okay.
do. Here, Newt, I have an extra pair. These are my cool ones.
There we
Wow.
go. Just wearing ladies' glasses. What's that about ladies' glasses? It's a Seinfeld joke. Anyway, Men in Black. Holy crap, this is a good movie. I loved this movie when it came out. This was big. I remember the teaser for this was friggin' awesome.
Where he kicks the door open?
Yeah, we're like when they shoot it was the UFO crashing, and then it's them kicking the door open.
That was Quentin Tarantino's idea.
Was it
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I had
cool.
no idea. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, this movie, I was really hyped for this. And when it came out, it was gigantic. And this, I feel like this is the closest spiritual successor we're ever going to get to Ghostbusters.
Not Evolution.
No, sadly not Evolution. Although, look, I don't hate Evolution before we get a bunch of fucking Evolution fans screaming at us. But let's not lie, it was not a very good success.
Came out my senior year in high school. I was a projectionist, and our general manager was a guy named Mr. Muma, and he said this is going to be as good, if not better, than Ghostbusters. And even in high school, and I was getting ready to go to film school, and I was like, and then we were like, what the fuck?
Wow.
The reason I remember this movie is the very first time I ever had the nerve to ask a girl on a date was to this movie.
How old were you?
It came out, what, 97?
96.
96. I was in 7th grade.
Aww.
Yeah. Her name was,
No, 97.
97. So I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
It came out in the summer, and I worked up the nerve to ask her out on a date, and we went to go see this movie, and then we went swimming at her house, and this kid Cameron, who I was good friends with, and we hadn't seen in a year, he went to a private school, and he came back, and his hair was all long, and he was in good shape now, and she hung out with him, and I'm like, I wish I could neuralize myself. Nod your head. Life's not getting better. Oh, wait, that's part 2.
Yes. So this is like the ultimate like 90s movie. It hit every beat. It's like it's fun. It's loud. It'll be sold in Blockbuster because this is when they started making movies specifically to be sold in Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It's got enough adult humor. It's got humor for kids. Big special effects. It had a rap song tied in, which the star of the film sings the song in it. You know, looking back, I'm shocked LL Cool J didn't do a Halloween H2O rap at the
He
end
was too
credits.
busy trying to figure out how your head could be like a shark fin. You ever see Deep Blue Sea?
Yes.
Yeah, he did the theme song for that.
But yeah, so this like hits every single beat there, and I had a lot of fun.
Rick Baker's special creature effects are greatness. I was watching a documentary not too long ago about special effects, and Rick Baker was talking about this movie and working with Vincent D'Onofrio, and all they heard from Barry Sonnenfeld and from Steven Spielberg is he's extremely temperamental. You have to be very careful. And Rick Baker was like, we have to do this, and it's going to take 6 hours, and he's super worried. And Vincent D'Onofrio apparently is a massive classic Universal monster fan, and he's always wanted to be a monster in movies. So he would show up early and was just awesome and liked to be in the makeup. So from that point on, it made Rick Baker feel so much better, and that's why they started to add more, like him becoming rotted later in the movie.
That's awesome.
They
Really
just let
good
him
attention.
play more about it. You
That's
know,
really cool.
Yeah.
I do hear he's difficult though. I've
Really?
known.
Well, he is
people-
the kingpin.
Yeah, the constipated kingpin.
Yeah.
He sounds so constipated in that.
I
show.
love that show.
I love it
Yeah.
too, but just the way how he delivers his lines, I'm like, oof.
And I
someone
didn't
should've
realize
said no.
until recently that his girlfriend is Kal-El's mom in Man of Steel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
had
was
no
like,
idea.
oh yeah.
That is in our Man of Steel commentary
Yes.
track.
Mm-hmm.
You probably
I
only
literally
remember
forget
the ending.
everything.
You remember the ending of the commentary
I
track, but let's
don't
not
remember
dwell on
the
that.
Who doesn't remember it?
Yeah. So, Crystal,
Yes.
did you see this in theaters when it came out?
Yeah. I don't even remember really going to movie theaters when I was little, to be honest.
Oh.
I remember renting it on probably a Blockbuster or something like that.
How old were you in 1996?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry about it. But I didn't remember how much I truly enjoyed it because as the movies go on, I start liking them a little less.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, oh, I gotta go watch Men in Black, all right. And then I watched it and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
This is
Yeah.
the
It was
polar
really
opposite
cool.
of Batman Forever for Tommy Lee Jones, because Tommy Lee Jones is the best part of this entire
He's
movie.
really good in it.
Yeah.
He's really good in it.
He's so good.
The movie wants you to think Will Smith is the best part, and he's great.
Yeah.
But Tommy Lee Jones is the best part of this movie. So this is based off a comic that no one's actually read.
I didn't know it was I remember the summer it came out, the comic book store that we used to go to, the guy telling us that it was a comic book.
Yeah.
And seeing it and being like, oh, and it's nothing like the movie.
It's because it's more like what you think the Men in Black are.
But they also had a little bit of a Hellboy thing because they also fought monsters and cryptids and ghosts and stuff like that. Almost like a little Dylan Doggy, you know?
Yeah.
It makes sense for it to be a comic because you can have so many freaking stories out of this.
Yeah.
I did it said Marvel and Malibu comics. I'm like, I remember they did the Mortal Kombat
and the
comics.
Street Fighter comics. Yeah. Malibu also did the famous Doom comic.
Which we have.
Rip and tear your guts.
We have somewhere.
You have big guts.
Where did the Doom comic go? Well, that's bad if that's missing.
We
That's
wanted to
very
do. Remember
expensive.
last year we wanted to do a live action version.
Last
of
year,
that.
I've been wanting to do that for 10 years, and I've never gotten around to it. So apparently John Landis was offered a
John Landis was asked to direct this originally, and he just said it's going to be Blues Brothers with aliens, so he passed, and he saw it, and he was like, no, I mean, hey, thank God he didn't direct it.
I
Fucking
know.
Will Smith didn't get decapitated.
had to bring it up.
What?
Now we're never going to get Max Landis on the show.
The cockroaches that were all crushed in the movie were actually mustard packets.
That's pretty
Really?
Which is
funny.
kind of interesting. Clint Eastwood was originally offered the role of Kay, but of course he turned it down.
That would have been
That
interesting.
would have
Yeah.
been, I was
Yep.
just thinking that.
That's kind of all I have. Yeah, I want to talk about the movie.
Okay.
Directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, who did Addams Family and
Addams
Addams
Family.
Family
Yes,
Values. Addams
yes.
Family Values being the first episode you were in.
It was.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, you're at the end of Addams Family.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I stole things.
You stole things, and we just let you stick around.
Yeah. And also, you turned out to be a longtime friend of Newt, and we also knew you before then. But in that episode, we didn't know you.
You didn't know
Yeah.
me.
This continuity.
Do you really know me?
I keep looking out for Mr. Lobo.
We tend to forget a lot of things. It's weird. Sometimes I have very vivid memories, and then sometimes I have deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder if something happens. Anyway, I really like the beginning of the movie with the dragonfly.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think those are like miniature backgrounds and stuff because they look
cool.
live action, but the dragonfly is CGI.
My
CGI
complaint
is
about this is Danny Elfman on autopilot.
bum, 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 bum,
Because
bum,
there's
bum,
so
bum,
many
bum,
music
bum,
cues in this where I go, oh, that's just Batman Returns. Like that
Yeah.
was lazy.
Yeah,
You know?
every
Careful
big,
what you say about Danny Elfman.
No,
I'll
no,
cut you.
Danny
every
Elfman.
big composer,
love Danny Elfman.
every big composer does it. I think. I remember there was this show that took place in a video store. I have very vague memories of it, but I believe the first episode they did Mac and Me, and if I remember right, this really handsome Italian gentleman pointed out that Alan Silvestri reused his Predator score in Mac and Me.
Yeah.
But he did it in like a different key, so it was like the Predator score, but happy.
That's awesome.
Can't remember the name of that show, but I remember really liking it.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you know who's driving the van?
Who's driving the van?
Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
the werewolf in Monster Squad.
yes, yes.
Yes.
The homeless rickshaw driver from Seinfeld.
Yeah. Bet you I could throw a football over those mountains. Like, I don't know why Justin and I were quoting. The other day I walked into Justin's office and I said, those chickens have large talons, and he just put his head down on his computer.
Why?
I don't know. I did. Napoleon Dynamite came back into my life recently.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a person unironically wearing a Vote for Pedro t-shirt.
That's funny.
And I was just like, oh, we've circled back around.
Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite's great. All right.
It is.
I don't want to hear it.
No, I like that movie.
Yeah. So I liked at the beginning, it's, the immigration control trying to stop illegal aliens coming over the border.
Yeah.
And then the Men in Black show up to stop other illegal aliens.
Aliens, yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty
That
clever.
was awesome.
And who was it? Mikey?
Mikey.
The alien?
Yeah.
And the head on the stick is great.
Yeah.
The eyes still
Oh
blink.
my
Now,
gosh.
our audience is younger. There used to be the MTV Movie Awards.
Ah, yes.
In the year that this movie came out was also the same year that Boogie Nights came out.
Oh.
And there was best special effect in that. And the head on the stick wins. And Marky Mark's fake dick is in it. And it's wearing a top hat and a tie and it loses. And it storms out of the theater.
I don't remember that.
Which I think was an in-joke to when Burt Reynolds didn't win the Oscar that year from Boogie Nights. He got pissed off and left.
That's pretty
So I was
funny.
like, that's kind of funny.
That's
That's
funny.
Yeah.
hilarious.
But yeah, Mikey is a good blend of CGI and practical effects.
That was really good.
He looks like an episode 1 character.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes, but not as bad.
No.
Because he's like darkly lit and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he notices the one cop spying on him, and he like attacks him for some reason. He is a criminal.
Yeah.
I saw your notes like, oh, killing this alien, wouldn't that cause some kind of war? And it's like, no, he's like, you're a criminal. You just violated like several treaties. So
Yeah.
his home planet, it's like,
Yeah.
that guy sounds like a real asshole. Glad you got rid of him. But somehow he came back to life because I think in the VHS version of the movie, they play the music video for Men in Black, and Mikey is the one
is
dancing
dancing,
with
yeah.
Will Smith.
Is
Yep.
he really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I gotta rewatch that music video.
The thing you don't know is that, Crystal, the good guys dress in black. Remember that, just in case we ever come face to face and make contact. Title held by me, MIB, because what you thought you saw, Crystal, you did not see.
Thank you for that, and I'm gonna stop you. I think this weird pen is out of batteries.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Damn it!
I don't know what happened.
Make
there.
it work. Oh.
And right now, before you go any further, I'm gonna stop you from telling the Wild Wild West story because you've already told it
Okay,
twice on this show.
I wasn't gonna tell the Wild Wild
I
West
feel
story.
like you were going.
No,
to do
no,
the
no,
Wild
I just
Wild West.
We
remember-
need every episode where he repeats his stories.
because I keep getting this weird pen going off in my face.
Why do I keep fucking remembering you?
Yeah, I really like Agent K.
Yeah.
I really like his
I
name,
love him.
K. Nice, simple, just one letter. K.
Yeah, like if you said K to somebody, that brings up warm memories of Men in Black.
Yes. You know, people usually say a lot of things to me, and I can't find the words, and I think of Men in Black, and I just go, K.
And they should go, man, I haven't watched Men in Black in a long time.
Exactly.
I should get off Reddit and go watch Men in Black.
But yeah, so a cleanup crew shows up, and they're like hazmat. They look like the 13 ghosts.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes they're
They're
dressed like the dudes
dead.
in the what is it, the garbage place or whatever.
The fucking garbage truck that sprays blood. So they're the opposite. They're going to clean up blue liquid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas 13 Ghosts was spraying red liquid.
Yes, opposite.
But this scene always made me sad with the old guy.
Oh my gosh.
He's
It
like-
was so sad. Look at the stars. Aren't they beautiful?
But yeah, it's very sad when he's just like, I can't do it anymore. And then, boop, flash.
Yeah.
Nah.
Where would
Yeah.
that guy go then? Like, what would they? Where could he do at that point?
I don't know. Do they have it written in like their thing, like what they want when they?
I mean, that would make a lot of
I'm
sense,
sure they
right?
do because
Yeah.
Kay did. Kay knew exactly. He knew how many
And-
years to go back
yeah.
because his life stopped when he was in a coma. That you find out.
Yeah.
And they actually referenced that at the end, but I was like, yeah, what do they do with this poor old man? Like,
I'm sure they have a.
They should have had a scene where just Kay is like running the street and he's just like a homeless person.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Oh,
that's a bummer.
my god!
you ever see the Billie Jean music video?
I can't.
Michael
recall.
Jackson. He's like walking down the street, and like when he's stepping on the things, they light up. There's like a homeless guy laying in the garbage, and Michael Jackson flips a coin, and it goes in the dude's little thing, and then he's wearing a white tuxedo, but he's still laying in the garbage, and that just I don't know why that just popped into my head. Hot take: Off the Wall is a better Michael Jackson album than Thriller.
Okay. I don't have strong feelings on it, so.
It is a good one though. I feel like it's not as.
All right, let's get back to
Talked
Men in
about.
Black. Come on.
Okay. Because speaking of beautiful musicians who are very great, Will Smith shows up.
Will Smith shows up, and he's wearing a spacesuit / prison jumpsuit.
Look, that was
Spacesuit
that
suit.
was
Like,
the
you know,
style
they wear,
at
like,
the time.
an
Yeah,
art-
that
yeah.
was the full '90s. It was just a jumpsuit.
Was he
It
wearing his
wasn't-
Timberlands in this scene?
Ooh,
He always liked to wear Timberlands.
He did.
Like
Yeah.
90s black porn stars.
Yeah.
They always wore their Timberlands in their sex
So
scenes.
he's
What?
he's
Yeah.
chasing a stuntman who is not Ray Park.
It's not. It looked like Ray Park.
I don't think it's Ray Park, but I think I looked that up before. Where
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see his name in the credits, but yeah, he does look a lot
Yeah.
like Ray Park.
Just because he was able to do like the parkour-y shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Yeah, I screamed parkour. I don't know why, but that just happens. Like,
Like
you're just
The
watching a
Office?
movie, you're
like
just
the
like,
office. Parkour!
parkour!
He has the world's worst space gun.
Yeah.
Because he pulls a gun out on him and it gets knocked and then
It just shatters.
and it's such a terrible effect because it explodes and then it just like
disappears.
a hard cut just disappears.
It reminded me of, did you ever see the Mystery Science Theater movie?
Yeah.
When the mutant falls and they're like, oh, self-cleaning mutant. It just takes care of itself.
But yeah, so it's the worst gun ever. And then
Yeah.
he runs into the Guggenheim Museum. Is that what that? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Guggenheim,
Yep.
right? Yeah, and there's like that
After
cool.
it's raining black people in New York.
Oh
when he-
yeah, when he's like chasing
Oh
onto
my god.
the tour
His-
bus.
There are
Just be raining
so
black-
many just random one-liners in this movie.
And apparently that was an ad lib. They did it a bunch of times and the line wasn't working, so Will Smith just said that.
That's
and they had to
amazing.
get it quick because all the extras started laughing and they just left it in the movie.
I feel like there's a lot of moments in this that were probably just one-liners. But I do like the effect where, like, so this guy is like freaked out. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm running, he's coming. I gotta get off, gotta get out of here. And he's like, well, we'll talk about it. Then his eyes like blink.
yeah.
yeah,
which is
they're kind of
creepy.
like lizard-esque.
Yeah, and I always, this part always creeped me out where he just jumps off.
Yeah.
It's such a good effect because you don't see any strings, but like, they don't cut till like the last minute,
Yeah.
and it looks like, I think it was all like blue screen and stuff, but it looks like it's in camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the theater like really freaked out that I was about to see this guy splatter on the sidewalk. Yes. So then we meet, he's not really the villain, but the villain is also in this shot.
Well, he's kind of the villain. He's really mean to his wife.
He's super abusive.
Yeah.
yes,
he's
his wife, who
screaming.
is Elaine's roommate
On
from Seinfeld,
Seinfeld, yep.
from the early seasons of Seinfeld.
I like her whenever she's in stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Every time I see her, like, oh, it's that lady.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're arguing
It's
and
a
fighting.
random, like, super rednecky little house in upstate New York.
Yeah.
But I like
Screaming.
when you watch this, you can see the UFO like right from the first
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah.
Like you, when I watched this, like as a kid growing up, it took me years to realize, like, oh wow, it doesn't just pop. It's like actually slowly
Falling,
at the
yeah.
top of the frame. But I do love that line. The only thing that pulls its weight around here is my goddamn truck, and the truck just gets destroyed. And that's when we meet our real villain,
Yes. The bug.
Does he have a name? He's just the bug.
The bug.
Yeah.
They don't give him
Bug.
like every alien gets like a fancy alien name. And he's
Yeah,
just
no,
like
he's
bugs.
just the bug.
Well, they're just like cockroaches. There's like
Yeah, they
millions
don't
and
like
millions of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They just like to destroy everything.
Yeah, and then
Take
what
over.
does he ask Vincent D'Onofrio? He's like, "Give me your weapon or something."
Yeah, they said, actually, was it take or put down your gun or something like that, or give me your gun? He goes, you can't take my gun if you pry down my cold dead hands. He goes, proposal accepted.
Yeah, which is
Grabs him.
that's the famous Charlton Heston line to the NRA when he said, "If they want my gun, they'll have to pry it from my
Oh,
cold
yeah.
dead hands." That
Yeah,
was his
yeah.
whole thing.
Shall not be infringed. Am I right, guy? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So D'Onofrio is fantastic in this.
He's great. Yeah.
He-
When he goes back in the house.
And I love the running gag that like his skin is just not on his body. It's just like hanging up. Because
Yeah.
then like when you see the bug later on, you have to imagine it's just
he's all crinkled into
these,
it.
These bugs are really like they have like the opposite of claustrophobia. They like being in tight. Because when
Yeah.
you see a spaceship, you're like, that spaceship's way too tiny
Yeah.
for him.
Well, I guess if they're cockroaches, they're used to going into underneath of things.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
cockroaches can like
Yeah.
they can like squeeze
Go
into
into
tight
anything.
places.
Yeah.
So you have to imagine just like this 20-foot bug just in this guy's skin.
But he's
Yeah.
such a great physical comedian.
Yeah.
The way he
He is.
moves his body. Because, you're used to seeing him in, like, Platoon. This is way before Daredevil. So
Yes.
it's like, and you're, the last Jurassic World movie.
Second to last.
Second to last one?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, so I forgot how good he is in this movie.
It's
and
great.
Sugar.
Sugar.
And then her whole, that's for sugar water. But I'll do that line like constantly. And I haven't seen this movie in a long time. There's just certain lines in this movie that stick out in my head,
And this was an early, like how they blended practical and digital, like,
Yeah.
transitioning and
Yeah.
stuff. But like when he pulls his skin back.
Yeah.
Like, is that better? My only issue is when they go to the wide shot, his face is normal, but he's still holding it. I think they were going to animate the face going
And they
back, and then
didn't.
they didn't. So then
Yeah.
he's just standing there, like real
Yeah.
awkwardly. I'm like, that's a little weird.
They didn't Beetlejuice it.
They didn't
They should've
Beetlejuice.
Yes. Oh. It's so weird to see all these practical effects and all this mix, but yet there's other movies around this time that just suck with the
Yeah.
just CGI in general.
Look,
You're like,
it was new. Not everyone had the same budget. Like
Steven Spielberg produced this movie.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg. He probably got ILM and shit on
Yeah.
this. Like, but Spielberg's producing. You're
this
getting
was
good
what,
CGI.
97? This is
Yeah.
actually pretty damn good for 97.
Well,
I mean,
'cause you
keep in
see
mind,
movies later on,
97 was also Titanic, which was like
and
probably
this
had way
is
better effects.
again, this
Well,
is after Terminator 2 and after Jurassic Park. There's
Yes.
no excuse anymore.
Yes.
What about the other movies that did suck with the CGI? What's
What movie had bad CGI in the 90s? Are you gonna say
None.
Spawn had bad CGI? All right. Are you gonna say Species had bad CGI?
There was no bad CGI in the 90s. None.
Species had plenty of boobs though, so it
Yes.
ranks a little higher in my book.
Yes.
And this-
Next, you're gonna say Alien Resurrection had bad CGI.
No, never. I would never say that.
Oh, we should do Alien 3 soon. We keep talking about it.
That's
yeah,
a
why
really good
haven't we
idea.
done it?
Yeah,
we really
we should do it.
We haven't gotten around to it.
No.
I don't want to let the fans down. We got to get to it
Yeah,
at
We
some
should
point.
this would have
probably
been
do
a perfect night to do it. Too.
It
This
would
would have been a good night,
have.
but we're talking about Men
All
in
right,
Black.
well,
We
I
got to
know.
keep talking
Gotta
about
pick
Men in
one
Black.
alien. Yeah.
So Will Smith is being confronted about like what happened.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, when someone jumps off a building, you get asked questions about that.
I like the cops. Like you're not half the man, or you're not half the
If
man.
you were the half the man I was, like I am half. There were no witnesses. He's like, yeah, well, a lot of the police department here are packing a lot around their waist. But this is a really good moment where we get introduced to Dr. Weaver, Linda
Fiorentino.
What has she been in? I feel like she disappeared from movies. Am I just
Dogma?
not seeing her in things?
No,
Dogma,
no.
yeah.
Dogma. She was in Jade with David Caruso. The South Park reference when the very first episode, they're like, Ike, do your impersonation of David Caruso's career. And Ike goes, it's my turn, and jumps out of the UFO. She was apparently super hard to work with.
Really?
And Kevin Smith wished that he didn't cast her in Dogma. He wished he kept Janine Garofalo in that part.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would have worked better for that.
Yeah.
movie. Although she was a
agree.
great actress. Like I
No,
do
she
like
was-
her.
I
in
like
Dogma.
her, but
She's been in a lot of
she's-
stuff, but she just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I a lot of times with these actors, people are like, oh, they're not in anything. I'm like, no, a lot of times they still do act. So I got to look it up and see. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe she's just doing indie stuff and foreign stuff.
I assume that's where she came from, like the
Yeah.
indie world,
It was weird when people were like, what was it? when like they decided to remake RoboCop for no reason, and they're like, Michael Keaton's in movies again. It's like Michael Keaton never left.
No, he
He's
never
been in
left.
movies,
Yeah.
Or like Jim Carrey. People went to see Sonic, and that's how I learned that people in my generation just stopped watching Jim Carrey movies
Did
after
no one-
the 90s.
did
And they're
no
like, Jim
one-
Carrey's
Really?
back. I'm like, Jim Carrey never left.
He's
Did
been
no
in
one-
If anything, I
and
want
he's
Jim
done
Carrey to go away.
Did
He's
no
been
one
in
see the
serious
number
things.
23?
Oh
No,
my
they
god! Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh, so bad.
I know.
Directed by Joel Schumacher.
Yes, yes. But yeah, so I like when she's like, hey, I believe you, meet me at the morgue. And as soon as she goes out, just poof,
Yeah.
normalize.
Her brain is all fucked up because they do it later.
They do it
And
so
they're like,
many
aren't you
times.
worried about her? He's like, a little.
I love that.
It's been a few years since I've seen this. I forgot how early they introduced, because I
Yeah.
always thought, I'm like, hey, they introduced her pretty late. I'm like, oh no, there
No,
she is.
right
at the
Like
beginning.
literally like the fourth scene.
But that also explains why she's kind of kooky too, because
Yeah.
she's got
That's all she-
partial memories and stuff.
But she also says it too. Like she doesn't like actual people. She'd rather hang out with the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Agent K comes in and, unplugs the security
Yeah.
camera, and he's like, yeah, there were gills, not eyelids.
He was
which-
breathing,
Why
yeah.
would you have gills in your eye? I don't know. I don't know how it works. But he's
Yeah.
like, look, I gotta show you stuff. He's like, I got so much paperwork, and I love when he's like, good job on the paperwork.
Yeah, the guy walks by, he's like, wow, good job on the paperwork. It's taken care of already.
Imagine if you had those skills. You just literally control everything.
And so he wants to know what kind of gun the alien was carrying.
Yeah.
And speaking of 13 Ghost, they go to Tony Shalhoub,
Monk.
Ooh.
and he is great as Jeeves.
Officer Eduardo, uptight. How did these get here? I thought I'd turn these into the proper authorities.
The way I hear it, Jeebsy, you into something a little hotter than some stolen Rolexes.
Well, I'm a huge crack dealer now, but I still work here because I love the hours.
I'm talking about guns, smartass.
But he gets interrogated, and Kay is not dealing with his shit, so he
No.
shoots his head off.
Yeah.
Love
And
it.
that's when you find out he can just regrow his head.
And his eyeballs are all
Yes,
fucked
fucked
up
up,
when they
yeah.
come back.
His eyes were fucked up before,
Yeah.
so that means his head has been blown up so many times that his eyes just keep
It's
getting
like,
worse.
oh, it stings. Stop doing that.
But yeah, then he shows him.
And the pawn shop is
gun.
called Universal Pawn, which I
Yeah.
thought was cool. I was like, oh, because they're space aliens. Yeah.
So outside, Will Smith sees two people in Christmas lights riding a bike. They come back in the sequels.
Yeah.
I think one of the sequels.
Really?
Yeah, I think one of the sequels they have like a baby on the back of their bike.
hilarious.
So it's like, oh, the Christmas light bike people, they got married, I guess. And yeah, then he gets neuralized.
Yeah.
And they wake up in a fucking Chinese,
Chinese food
restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is just there talking his.
Yeah, he's like telling the end of some horrible joke.
About popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
You're just like, what happened? All these
what's-
beer bottles in front.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the setup? And all of he's like, you gotta lay off the sauce, man. The next day, he goes to the the tunnel authority.
Yeah.
The Bridge and Tunnel Authority, which is like the headquarters for the Men in Black.
Which reminds me of the first Hellboy movie. The BPRD is underneath the North Jersey like recycling and sanitation committee. You know,
I like when you walk into the building, it's just two giant fans.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But yeah, he shows up. He meets Rip Torn.
not Rip Taylor.
Not Rip Taylor.
Torn.
No, yep.
This would have been a completely different movie if it was Rip Taylor and he's just throwing glitter
Yeah.
in the air. Like,
I really, really missed the Twitter account Rip Torn Outlives.
What?
yeah, he died.
Yeah, he died recently. He died a few years back, so they stopped it. But this guy had a Twitter account for things that Rip Torn has outlived. Mm-hmm. it was like people and thing like if a show got canceled or something, or it was ridiculous. But he would always Photoshop Rip Torn into the picture of the thing that he outlived.
Oh
What
my
a
God, that's
great name
amazing.
too,
Rip Torn.
That is.
You know, didn't he get arrested for like
Yes.
falling asleep in a bank vault or
Yeah,
something?
he got like
What?
drunk and tried to like go into a bank.
Yeah.
What a life. What
He's
a
so. I
freaking
mean,
life.
Justin and I have talked about this a million times. Freddy Got Fingered is one of the funniest movies ever
Yeah.
made in human history.
He's pretty good
and
at
he's
it.
the dad in that one.
What I love,
Yes.
I love that he's got all these military people there. They're like, we're the best of the best with honors.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, here's our first test. It's a written test. And I
Nice.
love that the test is like, who's going to be smart enough to use the table?
Yes.
Because they're constantly like, they're like going.
Putting holes
I do.
through it.
I love
uncomfortable.
I love that the movie is set in 1997 or whatever, but everything has that kind of World's Fair look to it.
It's
All
like-
of their
It does.
furnitures
Well,
have that.
it kind of makes sense because I think it's implied they started the Men in Black in what, like the 50s?
50s,
Yeah.
And then, so they designed all that stuff back then, and they just haven't updated their design.
Because then that chair also that they're sitting in also pops up in Sarah Jessica Parker's set in Mars Attacks.
Yeah, those are very, very, very popular chairs.
Yes.
Also, the cover to Italian Spider-Man is Italian
Yes,
Spider-Man
yep.
sitting in those chairs. But yeah, so I like how the tests aren't like what you think they are first. It's just like who's going to use the table.
Yeah.
And then the next one is the
I
shooting
love
one.
the next one.
And this reminds me of the Mars Attacks, Men in Black ride at Universal
Yes,
Studios.
yep.
Have you ever been on that
Yes,
one?
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, it's great. Where you're like,
I'm
it's
trying
like
to remember it.
you're like a new recruit. It's one of those rides where you have a gun and like you're
There's
shooting
a
targets.
There's a Buzz Lightyear one.
Yeah.
I think it's
They have a few in Wildwood that's like that.
Yeah.
They have one in Wildwood. They've changed it so many times.
Yeah, but the
where
Men in
you would
Black
go through
one
and
is
shoot.
awesome because they built the
I
whole
did-
building.
I'm
Yeah.
remembering it. Yeah.
So you go through and it starts off as like a training thing, but then
Yeah.
like it's like, oh no, aliens attacked. You got to go into the city, and then suddenly you're in the real city.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yes.
on the border between U.S. and Canada, like where the Grand Canyon is, or the Grand Canyon. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
The Pennsylvania Grand
Geography.
Canyon.
Yes.
Niagara
We
Falls.
said in the
Exactly.
video that we would go there, and people
I
want us to
did.
go to
I
the
know.
Pennsylvania
It's
Grand Canyon.
beautiful.
But the Niagara Falls, before Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, there used to be like a little tourist area there, and they had a Spider-Man ride that was like that I remember going to with
Oh,
my family,
cool.
where you had to
Really?
shoot stuff, and then Marvel pulled all the licensing,
Yeah.
so they had to remove everything, and it was all corny after that, and really bad. Yeah,
But yeah, the shooting is really, really funny because they're all shooting the monsters. Will Smith shoots the little girl.
yeah. The little
amazing.
girl's name was
Tiffany.
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 Why did
And
little
Little
Tiffany
Tiff.
deserve
Tiffany's
to die?
about to start some shit.
Because she has quantum physics.
Little
and-
girl,
Yeah.
8 years old, in the ghetto, holding books about quantum physics. Like,
This guy over here, he's just trying to work out. This guy,
Yeah, he's
sneezing.
not, he's not Charlie. He's sneezing. He's got tissue.
Be appreciated if you ease up off my back about it. I say that to all my employers. I'm like, can you ease up off my back about it?
One
and
day.
they say, Tony, you're getting a raise. They say it all the time.
somehow you've just failed upwards. I don't know how it
Really?
works.
Well, you know, I watched a lot of Batman growing up, and I really related to producer John Peters, and I just
Yep.
failed upwards.
Yep. You go from being Barbara Streisand's hairdresser to the head of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and I love, so they take Will Smith aside because Kay wants him.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
look, he ran down a cephalopod, I think he said, on foot.
But,
Yeah.
So I love the rest of the, he doesn't realize he's like making fun of him. He's like, you've really proved like the best that the militaries have to offer.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, that's mean.
And I love when he's just like, now we got to give you an eye exam.
Yes.
And that's when he shows him the dossier that
Yeah.
Kay was there that the night.
Well, he doesn't know it's him yet.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
it's, there the night that we made first contact. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you gave that tall man flowers. And then they used the UFOs that landed to
Yeah.
cover up the World's Fair.
Yeah.
And he's like, why else do you think we held it in Queens?
But I love that, like, Jay doesn't believe him. He's like, when's the last time you got a CAT scan?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, you want some coffee? And then we meet the worms.
They're great.
I love
the worms,
them.
who are also on the Men in Black ride. When you're in the line,
Yes.
And they're in the
like,
cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah, they're in the cartoon, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about a little bit about
Yeah.
the cartoon afterwards. And the worms are great.
They are. They're fun.
They're
They're
great.
just so much fun. He was sitting on a bench with them.
Think about it.
He
Right.
said, think about
24
it
hours,
because if you accept this, then you're nothing anymore. You are erased from history. Anyone in your life, you're going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like this one line where he says, people are, I think it was this part where he says,
A person is
is
smart.
smart, people are dumb.
Which is what I've always thought about why, like,
No.
if aliens were real, why we wouldn't let people know about it.
And
you
it
know?
makes so much sense. I was like, ooh. And then he turns around, like, is it worth it? And he's like, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
but
I was
he's
like,
lying. He's lying. Anyway,
I don't know. Would you do it? If you had to erase, if you guys had to just
I'd want
not
more
exist,
than 24 hours for me
I
to make
think,
it.
here's the thing. I think
don't know.
people would notice if a super famous, super buff, and super handsome YouTuber went missing.
Yeah.
You-
They look
You
at their
know?
subscription box and they're like, I feel like I'm missing videos.
And then they go, oh, wait, now it's just Newt and Crystal? What was that guy's name again? And then it just becomes our show. We'll have Justin on
I'm
more.
glad. Oh, well,
Okay.
see, you ruined it.
Johanna.
You ruined it. I was like, you're smart not making Justin the host because you tried that and it didn't work.
Well, he'll pick a better movie next time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
well,
love
you know,
Pokemon.
Justin picked an obscure movie, Pokemon,
Yeah,
the biggest
no one
franchise in
knows.
the world.
No one knows what Pokemon are.
I mean, it hurts me in the long run because it's my channel, but thank you for not giving that episode a chance.
Everyone go watch it and make it the biggest episode now.
I hope that rebounds.
So we go to headquarters
Yes.
finally, and I
Thank
fucking
you,
love.
Cephs. Yep.
I love headquarters. We see Carl Strickland.
Yes.
Right. Is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, Strucken.
Yeah.
Carl spelled weird. Strucken. The giant from Twin Peaks. You see the giant from Lurch.
Yes.
Lurch from
Lurch from
Adam's
the Addams
Family and the
Family.
giant from Twin Peaks.
Yes.
I love you. Do you have any vegetables? He just pulls out a monster.
Yeah.
I think Vern Troyer is one of the little aliens.
He was.
in this.
Yeah, I saw his name in the credits.
I love the see-through slug. That thing is fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
That he tries to pet.
Yeah, he's
that
like,
one,
"Don't touch him."
Yeah.
him. He's angry.
And then we meet the twins, Willy Wank and Bob.
Yes.
But he has to scream his name. He's like, "Here are the
love
twins," and Bob. And who are the aliens on the screen?
We see Al Roker, we see Danny DeVito, we see director Barry Sonnenfeld and his daughter, we see Sylvester Stallone, we see Dionne Warwick, we see Newt Gingrich, George Lucas, and executive producer Steven Spielberg.
Oh, and they also, before that they looked at the screen, they also saw all these little gadgets. That was
yeah.
so much fun to look back at because that was in '96, and there's like a little this like, oh, this is going to replace CDs. I'm just looking at that now.
Oh
like,
yeah, it did.
Oh, great. Yeah. Oh, and then he says he thought his teacher was an alien. And they show his teacher, and you notice she's from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I thought that was a
where
good reference.
Will Smith was born and raised. On the playground is where he spent most of his days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and shooting some b-ball outside of school. And a couple of guys, they were up to no good, started making trouble in his neighborhood. Got in one little fight, and his parents got scared and said, "You're moving to your aunt and uncle in Bel Air." I forgot how the rest of that
I was
went.
like, oh, you're
yeah,
messing
I was
up the
losing it
words
there.
now. And his mom got
Newt,
scared.
if I remember correctly, you're from Jersey, right?
South Jersey, yeah.
Okay, please don't appropriate the national anthem, the Philadelphia anthem.
I'm sorry. That's
you
my
messed it up.
John.
Do not steal my people's heritage. Okay, my
Cultural appropriation.
that you are culturally
I'm not letting you do
appropriating the
this.
proud song of my people
Yeah,
from
gritty,
Philly.
gritty is the flag. For our followers
Gritty
who
for
don't
life.
know, look up Gritty. Gritty's probably the
Love
greatest thing to
Gritty.
happen to Philadelphia
That
since the Liberty Bell.
symbolizes Philly.
I'm the best thing in Philadelphia. I mean, I haven't lived there since 2010, but I'm the best thing in
Well, no,
Philadelphia.
since
No,
2010,
Gritty.
you're the best thing that's happened to Philadelphia.
Poor Philly.
Yeah, so this is the whole this is where he touches the gadget, right?
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, and the
when
ball.
he touches the ball and it just like breaks
Yeah, when
everything.
they're
Yeah.
looking at all the toys, yeah.
Yeah, and I just love when he's like, this caused the 1970s, 1980 something blackout.
Yeah.
The New York
So and
blackout.
so did it. He thought it was hilarious.
I also like that all the men in black, when they're not wearing their jackets, look like the cast of Book of Mormon.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're about to ruin the Book of Mormon.
Oh, yeah?
Are they really?
Yeah, we'll talk about it off camera.
Okay.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
Yeah, you tried that in the beginning. It took 2 takes, but we got it.
Fuck you. Edgar comes back,
Yes.
and he is stalking Rosenberg. Not to be confused with Jason Goldberg.
Not Jason.
Rosenberg.
No.
They're
Nope.
probably related though. And he's there with his
Same tribe.
his little cat, and he's like, "Let's go, little cat. I'm
Yeah.
Rosenberg."
So every time, so I'm sitting at my kitchen table last night watching this, and I had it on my laptop, and I was doing other work, and every time the cat made a sound, my cat was on the other side, stuck her head on the thing, and was like, "Fuck's going on here?" And then just went back to what she was doing. But when the cat hissed, she was eating her food, and she stopped and looked at me. I was like, "What? What do you want me to do?"
I'm not gonna lie, your cat's a little broken.
I know.
But yeah, so
Poor
he goes to meet Lurch, and they're talking in their alien
Oh, they
language.
did an awesome, beautiful hug. You're just
Yes.
like, oh, and they sit down.
Pierogies are a
Pierogies.
delicacy
Yes.
across the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Is that like?" So there's something called the galaxy.
Yes.
And then he thinks it's in a tiny little thing. He's like, "Is that?" He's like, "No, these are just some diamonds for you and the kids."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a really good reveal when Edgar is he just shows up as one of the restaurant's employees. He's like, "What happened?"
Well,
to
he
this
killed
guy?
the
Yeah.
exterminator.
He did.
Oh yeah,
right.
he killed an exterminator earlier, and he
He-
took his van.
Yep.
And I want to point out they designed him to kind of look like a bug.
bug, yeah.
I remember that
Yep.
in the
Yeah.
special features. They were like, "Yeah, we wanted to give him like the bug eye thing." Yeah, so he's there now, and I love when he's all like, the other guy's on a break, and the camera pans, the guy's just twisted in half.
Twist underneath of the thing. Yeah, it was great.
And then he kills.
Yeah, he
both
has like
those
his
guys.
stinger comes out and stabs him
Straight
in the neck.
through the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this upsets the cat, whose name we don't know at the moment.
No,
don't
not
know.
yet.
And I'm a little, well, I guess with the morgue scene, I'll talk about how I'm a little confused how Rosenberg got killed.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing. While that's happening, J and K, JK.
JK.
That's pretty funny. They're going to apprehend an alien who's out of his zone.
It's stuck on the
New
Jersey
Jersey
Turnpike. How many times have we been stuck on the New Jersey Turnpike?
Fuck that road. Fuck that road.
Yeah, so yeah, they find him, and they're like, "What are you doing, man? Where are you going?" He's like, "My wife's pregnant. I just want to leave." I love how none of the aliens are letting them know like what's going on.
Yeah.
Like don't you want to?
Was his wife also an alien, or did he impregnate a human woman?
No, I think she was an alien because
Okay.
while Kay's interrogating the guy, Jay is waiting to give help
He
give
needs
birth
to
to the
catch
baby.
it.
Yeah.
All he has
That
to do is
big
catch the baby.
Yeah, that big tentacle is hers.
Okay, I thought that was the baby.
That wasn't
No,
sure
because when you
either.
see the baby, the tentacles aren't that big. But yeah, I love the tentacle. It's just slamming him on the car.
It's because there's a very mundane, bureaucratic conversation going on in the foreground, and behind it, he's getting fucking slammed against the car, and it looks okay. The CGI still looks okay.
The tentacles, it's a little smooth. It's not as detailed as it would be now, but it holds up fine. You say the same thing about some of the dinosaurs in the daytime in the first Jurassic Park. They're still a little smooth, but there's no other way they could have done it.
And then the baby pops out, and the baby looks like Kit Fisto from Star Wars Episode 2.
Which we love. We love Star Wars Episode 2. It's the greatest. All the Star Wars prequels are great.
Well, we just said the best part of that movie is when Natalie Portman's midriff gets ripped.
Yes, but also everything else is the best part because George Lucas is great because he's not Kathleen Kennedy. That's what the internet told me.
Oh, okay. Do you believe everything they say on the internet?
Yes.
Some people say you're very talented and famous.
I believe it. Do they say other things about me, dude?
No.
Nothing. No, not at all.
Only
Oh my
positive.
God. No.
Only positive comments about this show.
I mean,
everyone on it.
Never mind.
So I love how the Men
That's me. I read the internet. I read
Don't.
the internet and just
Don't.
go, oh my God.
Don't read the internet. They're mean.
I love how the Men in Black get their information is from the tabloids.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
that
the
was
Weekly World
brilliant.
and whatnot.
It's like the best reporters that
and it's-
ever existed.
It's like alien took my husband's skin.
Yeah.
And then they go to visit the poor woman. And I love it. She's like, you guys gonna laugh at me too? He's like, the FBI does not have sense of humor.
That we're aware of.
That
That's
we're
such
aware
a
of.
great line.
That
yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, so they're like asking her.
And that's the thing. They had to tell Tommy Lee Jones, you got to play this as straight as possible for the comedy to work. And I'm so glad that he never breaks from that. And he works so well in this movie just being the straight man.
Yeah.
It's a weird pairing that works.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what's a weird pairing that didn't work. I think Sean Connery and I think Wesley Snipes and that.
Oh
that
God.
movie.
Murder at 1600?
No. They were in like a buddy cop movie.
In Japan.
Is that what it's called?
They were in a buddy. No, they were in like they were in a movie in Japan.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I really want to know the title. Of this
We got
movie.
this was a trivia question, and Johanna and I were trying to figure out what the answer was.
You never got the answer?
It reminds me of Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes in Rising Sun.
Rising Sun, that's the name of it. Good thing we didn't look it up on our phones.
Yes, but like I remember that movie, and it's like I don't remember that being a good team. And fucking Anthony Hopkins and Chris Rock were in a movie, and it didn't work. But for some reason, it really works here.
You know,
Because they're complete polar opposite.
You know what's a great pairing?
What?
Sonny Chiba and Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yes,
Yep.
in Immortal
Kombat.
Kombat, which was the first Tubi Tuesday on Patreon. We got a couple Tubi Tuesdays on Patreon right now.
Ooh.
Sign up
Yes.
and go watch our Immortal Kombat review because that movie was deceivingly good.
Yes. And then we also did, what did we do? We did
You did.
Super Sentai Zoo Ranger, the series that was used, the
For Power
series
Rangers.
Power Rangers got all its footage from. We cover. I went back and I
Really?
watched
It's all
the
on-
Japanese
yeah,
series.
it's all
I
on-
might
it's
actually
all on
watch
Tubi.
Tubi Tuesdays then.
Yes, yeah, you should. Thank you. You
I'm
know,
not in any of them.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe one day.
We're gonna do Swamp Zombies too
Yes.
eventually.
Yes, and we did. What else did we do?
You did
Monster Brawl.
You
You
did
did
Monster
Monster-
Brawl.
you
You
did do
did
that.
my big gay Italian
My
wedding.
big gay Italian wedding,
Yeah.
and by the time this comes out, I think the The Legend of the Titanic, which is the animated one of the 3 animated Titanic movies that all feature talking mice. Anyway,
because almost you go, well, everyone who was actually in the real Titanic's dead now. We could just make something out of it, you know? There used to be a Titanic like children's ride on the Wildwood Boardwalk, and I was just like, that's in terrible taste.
That is in
I don't remember that.
So yeah, I love when they question the wife and then they neuralize her, and he's like, "What the hell, man?" He's like, "Yeah, you know, you're gonna stay with your mom for a little bit." I love like Will Smith is like, "Well, let's try to make her a little bit better." He's like, "You left him, actually.
Yeah.
You're gonna go. You're
and
gonna
you gotta get an interior decorator.
You're gonna get some dresses. You're gonna get a facial."
I love that.
I want to know how her life turned out after
do
that.
too.
You know,
if she never shows up in the sequels, but that'd be great.
She became one of the Sex and the City girls, like.
But yeah, so then he's like testing the soil, and he's like, "Oh, it's a bug."
Yep.
And he keeps calling him Slick.
Oh, because Will Smith says,
Yeah.
I don't want to be called
youngin'
son and
or
all this kind of
yeah.
stuff. So the running gag for the rest of the movie is they just call him every other nickname. And I was like, that's such a good joke, you know?
The nicknames that Kay gives him is so funny.
Yeah. So they go to the morgue and they meet the Dr. Weaver.
Linda Fiorentino.
Yes. And I really love they're pretending to be. What are they pretending to be?
Doctors?
They were doctors,
They're
yeah.
doctors.
Because he's like,
Black.
Dr. So-and-so. And she's like, Dr. So-and-so.
Because the first time when they showed up at the wife's house, he goes, "Oh, and this is Detective or whatever it is.
Detective Black.
White."
Yeah.
This, Detective, this was Detective White.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What?" And then at the morgue, he goes, "Oh, yeah, this is Dr. Black." And he's like,
Yeah, but I like, she's like, "Look, these bodies are a little weird. Like that guy's skeletal structure is all messed up." And then like, I love when she puts his hand in there. She's like, "You feel that? The livers and blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Yeah, everything seems normal." She's like, "No, it doesn't."
they're not there.
But then they open up the head.
And this is so cool.
This is a great effect.
Yeah.
So they made, a puppet, miniature puppet for the wide shots. But then they made like another miniature, but like a bigger one.
Yeah, like they did with Gizmo, too. There's like
What they did with Gizmo, and that's
Yeah.
why when it's a close-up on the alien, his mouth is like very, very detailed. But then it was the wide shot, it's just like a finger puppet. It's going like that. But yeah, so I guess he doesn't understand English. How did he have a business on Earth with that?
Well, they had universal translators.
Oh, is that what it was?
They say it in the when they're in the room with all the gadgets. There's a universal translator, and that's kind of the Star Trek thing. That's how
Yeah.
That
everyone,
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about. So he was stabbed in the neck. I don't see him on any kind of life support. How is he injured?
Well, it might have
I was wondering
affected.
that too.
It might have affected like his breathing, because if it affects the thing,
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But the effect is great, and I love how he's like just struggling,
just big expressive
Yeah.
eyes
Cool.
too.
and he's just like, I need the galaxy is on.
But I like when they're trying to guess it, and it goes.
and he gets the galaxy is on Orion's belt, which is a constellation in the sky, or is it?
Oh,
Also, we should also mention at this point that the cat came into the morgue.
the cat came
Yes.
back
Yeah.
the very next day.
And I love that the cop is like, yeah, there's a problem with
You
the
don't
cat.
remember that song?
Yeah,
No.
they used to sing it in camps.
You don't remember
and
that
stuff.
song? It was like the cat came back the very next day. The cat came back. Thought he was a goner, but the cat
Yeah.
came back.
No.
I actually know every word. To
Yeah,
that.
me too. Yeah.
They
I
used
know
to sing
that
it in
song.
they used to sing it like at Boy Scout camp.
Well, 'cause
There's
I told
that,
you-
and then there's the other song you
So
just said.
Yeah, the other day, and I don't know, maybe you people would remember this. I had a vivid memory of this song that we used to sing in kindergarten, and it was "There Was an Old Woman All Skin and Bones," and it's a really short song, and it's based on a Virginia folk tale. And another version of it was used in the first Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book. But this version, like the old lady goes out into the cemetery and she sees all the bones all around and she wants to sweep them up. So she goes back into her kitchen, and when she opens up the door, boo! And every word to that song popped into my head. And I remembered where I was sitting when we used to sing that song. And the teacher used to turn the lights off when we would do it. And no one I talked to remembered that
I don't
fucking
know
song.
that
And I was
song.
just like, wow.
Sounds familiar. I don't
Yeah,
know.
know.
whatever.
But anyway,
Yeah.
the cat's there.
Yeah.
And I love the cops like, there's a problem with the cat. And she's like, what is it? He's like, it's your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and also, what's her face is so in love with Will Smith at this point too, and I don't know why they never actually say it though.
Well,
it was
'cause she's
a
met
little
him
odd.
before.
Yeah. She vaguely remembers it. Plus, her brain is chunky chicken soup at this point in her head, and it's just
And I think
sloshing
it's
around.
this
But she
setup.
never really. She didn't really flirt with him in the.
But it
beginning.
also-
She said you have very pretty eyes.
But that would also
But she was
feed
like,
into
really?
later in the movie where he thinks that she's really flirting with him. It's just kind of a setup
Yeah.
to that.
It
you
is.
know?
It felt like a little too. That was the only part where I'm like, it feels really forced here.
But then
But
they
besides that-
then they flashy thing her.
Mm-hmm.
And I love
Yeah,
Will
flashy
Smith is
thing
like,
her.
how many times have you done this to this woman? He mentions he's done it like
Yeah, he's
because I
like,
imagine
couple.
she keeps like because earlier in the movie when she like wanted to talk to Jay, like she probably sees like aliens all the time.
Yeah.
They have to get it
Yeah.
in flashy
Mm-hmm.
thing.
So, what you not worried about no long-term damage?
Little?
Hey, K, have you ever flashy thing me?
No.
I ain't playing with you, K. Have you ever flashy thing me?
No.
The aliens keep them on another galaxy's time table for the day, and it's a 36-hour day.
Yes.
And he's like, well, you get used to it, or you have a psychotic
psychotic
break,
breakdown.
which means that there's probably been, like, problems there in the
Yeah.
past.
Plenty.
And I love Agent K is spying on his ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you find out, right? Like he was the guy in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
van.
I mean, I kind of figured it because they
Yeah.
just used they basically used a picture from the movie Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
Because Tommy Lee Jones looked old even when he was young. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen Rolling Thunder before?
No.
Oh, okay. It was like
I've seen The Park Is Mine.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but yeah, he even looked old when he was young. It's like the guy who played Strickland in Back to the Future.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
also in fucking Masters of the Universe. 20-something years before Back to the Future, he was the cop in the beginning of the Amityville Horror.
You're
And he
right,
looked
right.
the same age. So I just assume there's a painting of that guy that gets older and he doesn't, you know? That's a Dorian Gray reference.
That is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's spying on his ex-girlfriend, and it's all like, what could have been? He's like,
Yeah.
it's better to have loved and lost. And it's like, have you tried it?
Yeah. Aw. There's so many like little cute moments in this movie that's
Yeah.
like so heartfelt.
And yeah, because they don't go as heavy on the Will Smith-isms as they do in the later movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a nice balance here where they can still feel like he's a funny, brash character, but they're not just rolling catchphrases.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I do like that they pointed out, they're like, there's no galaxy on Orion's belt. It's just 3 stars.
Yeah.
But they decided to go check out Rosenberg's jewelry store, but so is Edgar.
Yep.
And like they had to pick a gun for him, so they give him a noisy
The
cricket.
noisy cricket.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna break this damn thing.
Yeah, because he goes like that, and he's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, he thinks he has like the shittiest gun in the world, and it's like the most awesome.
so
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, so they confront Edgar at the jewelry store. They like fire at him, and the
But he's also firing in public.
yes. And like the noisy cricket just like
Throws
him.
them back.
And I love he's like, the world's at stake. And Agent K is just like, yeah, it always is.
Every
There's
Every
there's
day.
always an alien that's coming to destroy the Earth.
And they're so, even when there's a countdown happening, you see everyone inside, they're just like,
There's a
Yeah.
lot of this that reminds me, and the ending especially, but there's a lot of this reminds me of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
yes.
Is how mundane and bureaucratic things to everyone else would seem like end of the worldy, but to these people it's just Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, they make a point. They're just like, well, we have his ship, so he's not getting out of here. So we got time.
yeah.
Oh, and I think in the jewelry store, whatchamacallit, Edgar is the one who looks at the cat.
Yes.
And
you
he
realize.
sees
And
the
the cat.
name Orion. He's like, I think I know where the galaxy
Yep.
is.
Arms of Orion was a Prince song on the Batman '89 soundtrack.
Yes.
And Orion is the name of a DC Comics New God character.
Are we just going to go ahead and
I was
announce
just going to
everything?
derail this.
I think Orion was like a Greek legend. Anyway, the Archillians is what Rosenberg belonged to.
Yes.
And they're upset. They're like, hey, you need to, because they explain what the galaxy is later. But they're like, hey, you need to give us the galaxy. We blame you, Men in Black.
Yeah.
Men in Black should be like, we have nothing to do. What are you talking about? Like, we give it to you if we had it. And I'm mentioning this because when we get to it, the plot, the threat in this movie was completely changed in post.
Yes, that's what I heard.
And I think it belongs here. And I'll get into more detail about it. But this is where they meet Frank the Pug.
Yes.
No.
With
Yes.
a guy who's not Riff Raff from Rocky
Looks
Horror.
I
exactly
always
like
thought that was
Riff
Riff Raff. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's like, oh, that guy's definitely an alien. He's like, you don't like it because my furry butt. In the cartoon, which is not canon, because it's in an alternate universe where Kay didn't retire,
Yeah.
but then also the events of the first film happen. It's weird.
Well, it's like the Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yeah.
The first movie happened, but then there's only one reference to Vigo in
Yeah.
the entire rest of the series.
Yeah. But in that series, you actually see Frank outside of his pug suit, but he's just like a green pug with some antenna. Like, that's it. Like, he still looks like a pug.
I just like that dog owes my friend money. They're practicing a ventriloquist act. He's like shaking the dog.
Because he needs information. He's like, the galaxy is a source of energy that they can like power so many things. And they're like, well, how is it here? And he's like, God, you humans are so obsessed with sizes. Like, like not everything is up to your scale or whatnot.
Do you see Frank a lot more? Was it in the second
One?
movie?
They give him a little suit.
he gets a suit.
For some reason, I was thinking I saw Frank a lot more in the first. And I was like, that's all I see of him?
He's not in the third one, but there's a cute reference to him. When he goes back in time, there's like there's a poster for like a traveling circus, and they're like, the amazing talking pug. And they're like, that's funny.
The only thing I remember from the third ones, remember there was a big issue with how huge Will Smith's trailer was, and people in New York were like, it's like blocking the sun. It was like...
he has like a bus that you can like live in.
But it was like Mr. Burns when he blocked the sun out in Springfield, you know? And everyone got rickets.
So yeah, I think this is where Will Smith figures it out, and then Linda, whatever her name is, she figures out like the galaxy's on Orion's collar.
Yeah.
She sees it.
Yeah,
she's
because-
mesmerized by it.
Yeah, so the alien didn't know the word for collar, and he mistaked it for belt,
Yeah.
which is what led to the confusion. I kind of like that whole like mystery there. And yeah, it's just a tiny little galaxy.
Yep.
We're so insignificant.
Well, then that plays into the ending.
Yeah, it
I
plays into
love
the
the ending so much.
But yeah, then David Cross shows up.
And in the second one, his name is Newton.
What a stupid name.
It's almost as bad as Antonio.
You shut the hell up.
I just realized...
It's all right. I have a stripper
I just
name. It's
realized...
fine.
That's true. I just realized I've been wearing Crystal's lady glasses.
I said that in the beginning when you put them on.
I just realized I still had them on.
Did you forget? It's so bright in here.
Yeah.
The lights.
So yeah, the David Cross is like the receptionist at the morgue, and Egger comes in. He's like, "Oh, he left me a cat. He's a dear friend," but he's keeps spotting flies, and even though these aren't his bugs, like he's a completely unrelated bug from like another galaxy.
Yeah,
he still is sympathetic to the plight of the insects of Earth for some reason.
Is it just all bugs that he? Because they don't say they're always cockroaches, are they?
they're just bugs in general.
Just bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which, you know,
could be
plays into
infested.
the...
but like the cockroaches like hang out with him and live on him.
Because it's
Oh,
awesome when they
yeah.
come out of his sleeve
Yeah.
on the
That is,
pierogies
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, but I don't know why he cares about the plight of human, like Earth bugs.
They might
Also,
They could
I don't
be
think-
alien
well, you know,
flies.
it's like Chariots of the Gods. Like the aliens came
Yeah.
here and taught us technology, but some people believe that we are descended from aliens, you know?
But also, like, he should be used to dead. But the reason there's millions and millions of insects is because they're really easy to kill, and that's why they reproduce so goddamn much. So you should be like, it's just another fly. There's a
Well, I
million
found
more.
out there's a moth that apparently doesn't eat or anything like that, and it's only lives to fuck, and then it dies within a week.
Then how does it eat as a caterpillar?
I didn't get that far into it. I just thought that was really cool.
You can't just not absorb any kind of energy.
It literally lives for less than a week because it literally survives just to fuck.
I'll give you that as a moth, but it has to eat as a caterpillar.
I am
I
going to
don't
start...
know. I didn't go that far into this research.
I'm
I
going to
just thought that
start
was
dressing
cool.
as a moth. I'm going to be like Arthur from The Tick.
You know, there are some famous characters that really related to a moth, and let's just say I'm not gonna be sad when Jodie Foster shoots you in a basement. Egger like beats up David Cross,
And like cocoons him in slime.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah,
Tom
and I think
Skerritt in Alien.
he confronts the doctor, the morgue lady. He's just like, "Give me the galaxy" or whatever, and then Agent J shows up, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I love this whole thing where she's like flirting with him. She's like, "Hey,
something under here you really need to see." And he's like, "Damn, girl, you don't go that fast."
But yeah, they realize it's him, and Egger escapes, and he gets into like a cab or something. He throws
And
the
he
poor guy out of
Yeah.
the
Grabs the cat.
But they're-
Yes, he grabs the
He
cab.
grabs the cab, but they're
cat.
running around. All right, so he takes Linda Fiorentino and gets in a cab, and they're running around, and Will Smith runs up to a dude who looks like
Manuel Miranda.
Manuel Miranda, and I'm like, well, that's obviously not Linda Fiorentino. Was that guy like a producer or something? What was
know.
that about?
But he eats the galaxy.
I watched In the Heights on Saturday.
He had
did
to
you?
apologize for that movie.
Yeah, it was about a half hour too long.
You
The
know what's funny?
musical is phenomenal. I saw it when it first was on Broadway. It became one of my favorite musicals. I knew every song by heart.
I like that his name
Beautiful.
is Usnavi because
Usnavi.
his dad saw U.S.
US
Navy
Navy.
when they came to America.
My favorite is we're at a point where Lin-Manuel Miranda is being yelled at for not being liberal enough because he didn't cast the movie to Twitter specifications. I'm like, wow, this guy is getting oh my God, they really are just going after everyone.
Rita Moreno, whatever her name is, she went after him as well for it, and then she kind of walked it back. The dude who played...
Everyone is too bored.
Yeah.
Everyone just get offline. Just go outside.
The dude from Straight Outta Compton, the guy from Straight Outta Compton who's also in Kong Skull Island, he's really good in it.
See, I have to see it. I am always very scared because I am a huge Broadway musical theater nerd.
Too. Musicals are for perverts. Let's get back to that. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Back at the MIB headquarters, the Arquillians fire a warning shot at the North Pole. And then they declare that they will destroy the planet. The reasoning is they don't want the bugs to get the galaxy. They'd rather destroy it. In the original cut, if I'm remembering it right, because I didn't have time to watch the deleted scenes because we've been filming for 2 days straight, and I'm very tired.
So what happens when you're famous, Tony?
Yeah.
Suck it up.
So in the original thing, it was too warring. Like the Arquillians and something else.
Yeah.
They were coming to fight over the galaxy, and Earth was just going to be caught in the
middle of it.
And be destroyed in the crossfire. And there's like, but I think that was that was just too much. So they simplified it and
just had one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't mind it simplified, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it works.
It's a
works
good
totally
movie.
fine.
It doesn't need that much complications in it.
But I do like that they say sorry.
Yeah.
They're like, we will destroy you. Sorry.
Yeah. Again, because even these other galaxies and other planets, it's all bureaucracy.
Yeah.
You know?
So they're like, oh, he can't get off the planet. What's he trying to do? What's he trying to do? And Jay realizes, like, oh, the UFOs at the World's Fair. He's going there.
Yep.
Which, of course, he is. And I like that he took Dr. Weaver as like a food.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna need a snack on the way, and then like she just won't shut up. So he's like, forget it. It's not like I'll kill you. He's like, just all right, bye, just go away. Why is he even bothering with the skin suit at this point? Like, I feel like it's just a detriment to him at this point.
Because they have Vincent D'Onofrio. You know, you got to use him for all he's worth. He's not cheap.
But yeah, so the Men in Black have to get there.
Yes.
And we forgot to mention that the car has a little red button.
It does.
Crystal, what did he tell him not to do?
Don't touch the red button.
That's right.
But he touches it and it turns into a supercar.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the most iconic scenes in the entire movie.
Right, because they even set it up earlier where like he didn't wear a seatbelt and now he's just bouncing around.
And they just
but
put on
like,
music.
you have all the technology. You have all the technology. Oh, it's an Elvis song.
Yeah.
Which is funny because at the end he's wearing the shirt that Elvis is wearing in Blue Hawaii in the tabloid picture, which I thought was funny.
He also says Elvis isn't. Was it Elvis isn't dead?
He just went
back home.
Which that pissed that I like that, but then in the Joss Whedon version of Justice League, David Bowie, Prince, and Superman, did they all go back to their home planets? And I was like, go fuck yourself, Joss Whedon.
What a beta over here.
I'm glad he got eaten across the street on the top of that fucking building by zombies.
Rest in peace, Joss Whedon. So they show up. They see the ship taking off, and they like shoot it in front of like. They had to neuralize everyone at that baseball.
I was waiting for that scene.
Yeah.
That would have been a great scene.
Everyone at the Mets game had to get, and that was a real player, guy who played for the Mets at the time too.
Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah, like he just gets hit by
Did you ever see? I'm a big Oakland Athletics fan in baseball. So Jose Canseco, who he's kind of a crazy person now. He's like the first like big steroids guy. He got traded to the Texas Rangers, and he was a really good home run hitter, but he couldn't play the field very well. And one time he lost a ball, and it hit him in the face and bounced over the wall, and it counted as a home run.
That's pretty funny.
Oh my god!
But yeah, so the ship crashes
in a terrible compositing shot.
Not it. When it's a miniature hitting the thing.
When it's coming towards them, it's not great.
That looked fine. What did you watch this on?
My laptop in my kitchen.
So it should have looked better.
I watched it on a DVD on a Blu-ray player. So maybe it's one of those things where like the quality's a little poor, but it helps the special effects.
I saw it on I rented it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I thought it looked fine. Like we've seen some bad composite shots.
It was probably the worst in the movie because it was just. But then again, it kind of looked like it was bad on purpose too because it was just that bad.
Forget about the composite part.
Yeah.
The
It's a
actual
cool
ship
shot.
crashing is
Yeah.
awesome. Way
Yes.
better than Star Trek Generations. That ship crashing. And it's pretty cool when he like opens up. He's got the white light behind him, and he's like freaking out. And I love the whole like put your hand on your head, and he just rips his skin off. And the monster is all digital.
Yes.
They did build a animatronic from what I remember, but they just couldn't get it to move.
I'm sorry, it's really hot.
It is hot in here.
Jesus Christ!
I'm sorry.
Trying to be.
I'm like trying to like hold the jacket on for long, and I'm just like I'm
Trying to be
dying.
professional
I
here.
keep drinking
Jesus.
water. I'm sweating.
Anyway,
So there's a bug.
Treated like shit here, guys.
Yeah.
God, always with the attention.
I know. Flip
Oh,
the tie around.
Tony's about to talk about animatronics and blah blah blah. I need attention. Anyway,
Oh my god. It's hot.
so
Pot kettle.
yeah, so they
know.
build an animatronic, but I guess they just couldn't get it to move smoothly.
Yeah.
I guess it's hard to animate like a real weird bug, so they went all digital.
But it looks good.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It has some issues, like the color. It gets a little too shiny
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but would look better today. But no, out of like you said, but 90s effects, like this one holds up pretty well.
It's
And it's a cool design.
cool design,
too.
and it looks like it exists in the same universe as the other monsters in the movie. It doesn't take you out of it because it is
No.
so digital.
Yes.
It still has that same kind of feel to it, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
And then I like Agent K is just like, I need to get that galaxy, or no, I need to get my gun back.
Yeah, so he
Yes.
lets it swallow
He
him,
lets it swallow him.
which is like
and-
Drax did in the beginning of Guardians
Yes.
2.
So Agent K went to the same school of underwater swimming as the killer, and I know what he did last summer because he holds his breath for a very
Yes.
long
really
time.
long time.
But yeah, so the alien is going on to the other ship, and then Will Smith, because he hits him with like a 2x4 and stuff, gets his ass kicked, but he starts squishing bugs.
Because he won't come down.
And
He
that-
won't pay
yeah.
attention to him.
So gross.
Yes.
That, like I can't do bugs.
Yeah.
I'm fine with everything else, but cockroaches freak me the
I
fuck
had
I
a
used
out.
to
friend
be-
that had a pet hissing cockroaches. He had them as pets.
I used to have a cockroach allergy.
Yeah.
What?
I got an allergy test in like 2005, and cockroaches is what I was allergic to. But
That's-
then my most recent allergy test, I don't have it anymore.
You're like the dude at the end of Creep Show. That's how you're gonna die. They're all just gonna come out of your body.
yeah.
When did they say, hey, in an allergy? Because I got that. It was like
Yeah.
30 something on
Yeah.
your arm. I was
Yeah.
allergic to almost every single one of them.
The cockroaches on the thing.
Who
No.
the fuck's like, let's see if you're allergic to cockroaches?
No, I know people. But I've heard of other people. Like a friend of mine who lived in a really bad part of Philly.
Yeah.
They had roaches, and he used to have he looked like he had chicken pox on his arms, and it was like really.
It was weird when I worked at Office Max before I got this job here.
At Hack the Movies video.
They had a bad cockroach problem, and I was itchy all the time. So that's why I was shocked when I got tested and I found out I didn't have it anymore. What happens is their bodies decay and break up and then get in the air.
Yeah.
Like it's not just them crawling on you; it's just because they break down and then like the debris. Anyway,
I'm just coursing with HPV.
yeah. The point I wanted to make is, Will Smith is crushing on the cockroaches, and he says, "Y'all look alike."
Yeah.
Cancel Will Smith.
That is super
not
racist,
okay.
yeah.
And I know I just made fun of people canceling that fucking dude who made that stupid play, but cancel Will Smith. No, cancel Jada Pinkett, really.
Oh.
Her entanglement that she got into.
It was an entanglement.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
If
was
the,
an
if the
entanglement.
tables were turned on that and Will Smith was like my entanglement, they would be murdering.
Did you ever see when somebody cut that together with
iRobot? Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so they confront him, and then the alien gets blown up from the inside by Agent
It
K.
took a long time for him to get that gun.
I think he was also looking for the galaxy.
Yeah.
Because he finds it. He finds the galaxy. And I love the scene where they're like, it's another background scene. There's a
Yeah.
couple of them. Reminds me of the Jim Carrey background stuff in Living Color. But yeah, he's like talking about, it's like, oh, you should have been here for this. But if you look at the back, you just see the front half of the alien sneaking behind him. And then how does he get killed?
When he's like, I had fire and he hit me. I mean, it hurt, but like he was just playing it off like he's cool.
How does he get killed? Strong, independent woman.
Yes.
She shoots him, and then she's
But
like,
the jump of it was good though. Like
Yeah.
you saw it coming, but
Yeah.
it still has a little bit of impact. I forgot about it when I rewatched it.
So
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
it looked like it was another alien. Though.
No, he just blew it in half.
no, it was just the front half. of
Yeah.
him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got
And then
confused for a second when I watched it. I was like, wait, is that in a second one?
no.
No, it's this one.
And then they go back to headquarters, and I guess now she just wants to be a man in black.
A A
That
woman
part's-
in
Well, she
black.
didn't want to. They didn't even.
Well, no,
They were gonna drive her home because she's like, guys, like my apartment's not here.
But that's her being like, I want to, because she's like, an interesting job you guys have. It's like, okay.
I don't think that was her saying that she wanted to be in
Well,
it.
she ends up being a man in black.
She
but
does,
also
because-
earlier when they're talking about it, Rip Torn says we are they and them, and I was like, wow, they were ahead of the game on the pronouns.
Yes.
But I don't think it was her saying that she wanted that job.
Well,
I'm sure
it's
they were like,
either way,
hey.
she gets
got
the
it,
job.
yeah.
But then you get the twist that Kay was looking for as a replacement, not a
Yes.
partner.
And he says the same thing as the partner. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't look at the stars, you know.
He's like, we just fought a big giant bug. That's one of the memories I don't want.
Oh, he's like, I was down the gullet of in whatever cockroach, you know.
Yeah, and then there's the emotional moment where he sets it all the way back.
Yeah.
He's like,
Flashes.
see you around, kid. He's like, no,
And then
you
I
won't.
love they
Yeah.
go to the tabloids and it's like, man wakes up from coma after so many years.
And he's with his girlfriend.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
after
and now-
35 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
But now Will Smith's Men in Black outfit looks like he's in a 90s R&B
Yeah,
group.
they updated
does.
the outfit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
I thought
outfit
they were
changed.
real strict
I
about
was
what
like,
their outfit.
yeah,
and
I
then
was
he
like-
doesn't wear it in the sequels.
Are the Men in
No.
Black now Belle Biv DeVoe?
But they have a very important alien coming, and they need a representative. So they he needs tickets to a game. So they hit up Dennis Rodman. He's like, he's an alien, not much of a disguise.
And then Dennis Rodman is Kim Jong-un's friend. And
Yes.
Kim Jong-un was a space cockroach in Team America World
no,
Police.
that was Kim Jong Il.
Same family.
Two different people.
They're both descended from gods, I've heard.
And then the camera zooms all the way out. We find out our galaxy is some aliens' marbles.
Which is cool, but it also
amazing.
reminds me of, again, Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yes.
Our galaxy was a
Yeah.
billiard ball in a game with like god alien creatures.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Here come the men in black. What's the original song they use?
Send me forget-me-nots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do the lyrics go in that? It's like,
I'm not gonna sing it now. I did it once before on another episode.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is when Will Smith was just taking old songs and adding lyrics from
Like the
movie
Wild
to
Wild
them.
West, and I'm not allowed to tell that story.
No, but no, I really like the Men in Black song.
I
It's
really
very,
like
very,
that
I get
song.
very nostalgic for it. I had it in the
Yes.
CD and everything.
Yeah.
But no, this is a
That,
very.
I like Will Smith's songs. I'm not gonna lie.
I like
That
when
Welcome to Miami.
I was like, I like it when Will
Yes.
Smith welcomes me to Miami.
Yes.
Yes.
But no, great.
Because he's bouncing in the club when the heat is on, and it's all night on the beach till the break
I
of
love
dawn.
that song.
Great movie.
Very good movie.
Very good.
Yeah.
Still holds up. Really, nothing really wrong with it. I mean,
No.
it's a few CGI effects aside,
It's
but the top,
good.
yeah, it's really, really good. I wish they
Fine.
made
Yep.
movies like this still. They were just like,
And
Or if
here's
the
the thing.
second and third kept up
No,
with that.
and here's where they fucked up.
Yeah.
Men in Black International.
I mean, there's
Okay,
a fourth one.
There's a fourth one with.
Why do I have no memory of the fourth one?
Room for one more? Men in Black.
Ah, a new Men in Black movie. I should see that. Well, that movie was terrible. I need to get it out of my brain.
Room for one more? Men in Black.
Huh, a new Men in Black movie. I should see that. That movie was terrible. I need to get it out of my brain.
Room for one more? Men in Black.
Huh, a new Men in Black movie. I should see that. That movie was terrible. I need to get it out of my brain.
Room for one more? Men in Black.
New Men in Black movie. I should see that. Movie bad. Brain out.
Room for one more? Men in Black.
Thor and Valkyrie are in it, and here's where they fucked up. That movie would have been awesome if they have to go to another planet.
Yeah.
And aliens treat Earth as we treat aliens. They don't believe in them.
Yeah,
And they
that
get
would've been
involved in this thing.
cool.
It's like the Futurama episode where they go to the robot planet, you know?
Right, right. Yeah,
yeah.
2 is pretty bad.
It's
It's not horrific, but it's okay.
Jack
It's better
Nicholson's
than the third.
Jack Nicholson's girlfriend and ex-girl, I don't know what she is, and Laura Flynn Boyle
Laura
and
Flynn Boyle.
Johnny Knoxville.
And Rosario Dawson's in it.
And Rosario Dawson, yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot that she's in it.
3 is fun. 3's okay.
I think 2's better than 3.
The only thing I liked
I
about
do.
3 was James Brolin as young version of,
that was good.
of
That
Tommy
was
Lee
good.
Jones.
But yeah, maybe we'll visit those one day. Men in Black 3. You know, is that the movie people always ask us to do? Men in
It's a
Black
third.
3.
It's an
right?
alien.
It's a 3 movie with
it's
an
a
alien in
third
it.
Okay,
alien.
okay.
So yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, we'll look into movies that have aliens that are the third in the series.
Yeah,
and
YouTube Men in Black 3, right?
YouTube search Men in Black
yeah,
3.
exactly.
YouTube search Men in Black
That
3.
sounds
And
right.
like, share, and subscribe. Check out our podcast feed. Join us on Patreon. And call our voicemail for the podcast version of the show. We're going to be answering your voicemails. And I hope by the time this airs, we figured out all the technical issues and I don't look like a liar again. Now we have to go do the premiere for I Know What You Did Last Summer. So if you watched the premiere and wondered why I was late, it's because we were doing this.
See you all Thursday.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.